Today, I would like to tell you the story of Hirabai Barodekar. This story is from the 1920s and 30s. Those were the days when movies were just stepping into India. In India, our primary source of entertainment was still drama, live drama, theatre, dramas that went on all night. Typically, drama started at sunset and went on till sunrise. So it was the era of all night plays when there was a stage and when there were props and when stage artists were very, very famous and had their own fan following. One such very famous stage artist from the 1920s and 30s was Hirabai Barodekar. Hirabai Barodekar was the daughter of Tarabai and Abdul Karim. Her mother's story is another really interesting story of unbelievable courage and unbelievable determination. I will tell you the story of Tarabai also some other time. Today, let me tell you the story of Hirabai Barodekar. Hirabai Barodekar had two sisters and two brothers, and their mother had more or less brought them up single-handedly. So she took to the stage at a very young age. By the time she was 4 or 5 years old, she was performing, baby Krishna and baby Sita, and she was performing, baby Ram on the stage. She could sing very well, and she had a glorious voice and brilliant, lovely eyes. So she was a hit. By the time she was 10, she was already a pretty famous person. But theatre is a difficult thing to run. Moving from town to town, paying all the artists. Sometimes the collection is good, sometimes the collection is bad. And sometimes, your best hero or your best heroine or your best musician suddenly deserts you because some other theatre company is paying him 2 rupees or 5 rupees extra, big amount in those days. So a theatre company, for those of you who are familiar with it, a theatre company is a very, very, very difficult business to run. So by the late 20s, the theatre company of Hirabai Barodekar started undergoing losses. But she did not want to shut it down. When something is undergoing heavy losses, the wise business decision is to shut it down or sell it to somebody who is willing to buy it. But this is the problem when you get passionately involved in your business. When your business is not just your business, but your business is something that is close to your heart, something that you're really passionate about. And the passion stops you from taking rational decisions. Never mix business with passion. But that's what Hirabai Barodekar did. So when her theatre company was going down the drain, she took loans and some more loans and some more loans and some more loans to keep it going. But by the mid-30s, there was nothing she could do. The company was down under. The loans had, enormous amounts of loans had gathered over her head, and there was no way she could even clear the interests on the loans. So she sought legal advice. And the lawyer was a good lawyer. He gave her one brilliant advice. He said, just declare legal insolvency, And for some strange reason, in the 1930s, legal insolvency was called pauperchit. P-A-U-P-E-R, pauper. I do not know whether it is C-H-I-T or C-H-E-A-T. But for some strange reason, in the 1930s and 40s, legal insolvency was called pauperchit. So they told her, just declare insolvency, pauperchit. And the government will step in and say, you don't have to clear any of your loans. All your loans will be forgiven and nobody will be able to send you a notice also. So she says, really? He says, yes, you just have to sign a few papers and appear before the judge and declare insolvency, and the judge will order all your creditors to go away, saying nobody should harass her, she is pauperchit. She says, wow, what after that? once it's not like the government forgives all my loans, but I don't have to do anything in return. There must be something, some side effect of this, some pitfall of this. So he says, yeah, you won't exactly be able to open a bank account in any bank, and you might not be able to travel. And just like that, just like that, the lawyer laughed and he said, someday, India might get independent. And if we do become Swatantra, independent, we will be able to vote. We will be able to choose our own king, our own leader. But on that day, should that ever happen, you will not be able to vote because you have declared legal insolvency. That set Hirabai Barudikar thinking. It was the mid-30s. It was 1937-38, and India was not even independent. She said, no, someday, my country will become independent. And on that day, I definitely want to elect my own leader. I want the right to vote. I want to be, I want to go and cast my ballot. I want to have a say. If that is what I have to give up, then I will not. I will work my off. I will clear every pie with principle and interest, but I'm not going to give up my right to vote. And so she did. She did. She had a loan of some 18,000 over her head, which in 1938 was like crores. She worked 25 hours a day, taking any job that came her way, singing here, training there, playing a small role here, playing a big role there. She worked and worked and worked and cleared every pie, every bit of, asal and sood, just to be able to vote. And in 47, India did get independent. On that day, just before August 15th, 1947, the story goes that the Home Ministry called V. Shantaram, Vallabh Shantaram, the V. Shantaram, and they told him, we would like you or one of your students to sing Vande Mataram right after Nehru's speech. And V. Shantaram chose Hirabai Barodekar. So right after the Tryst with Destiny speech by Pandit Nehru, Hirabai Barodekar went live on AIR and sang Vande Mataram. I've been searching for that record, but I could not find it anywhere on the internet or on the AIR website or any government website. She sang that. Vallabh Shantaram chose her. She lived. She won the Padma Shri. She won the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and she had a good life. She won the Padma Shri and she was honored. But this is the story of a woman who cleared a gigantic, enormous loan in 1937, believing that someday India would become independent and that the right to vote is important. She cleared her loans just to be able to vote. She did not take the easy route of declaring insolvency. So the next time there is an election and you want to sit at home and watch a movie, please remember, there was this third standard fail woman who cleared a huge loan because she knew how important it is to vote. Okay? Hirabai Barodekar.